This is a unique moment in our country's history. We are facing a difficult economic times. These fiscal challenges must be met, and if we are to continue to be successful. Sturbridge is well positioned to weather these financial storms due to our careful stewardship of the Board of Selectmen, the Town Administrator, the Finance Department, and the Finance Committee. The Board of Selectmen has accomplished a great deal over the last 3 years. These accomplishments include the creation of a visionary, cost-effective new biomass wastewater treatment plant, the upgrade of our ambulance service to paramedic, the acquisition of the old Sturbridge Village property, the Riverlands, and the Heinz Farm, the creation of a Lakes Advisory Committee that enables us to ensure the quality of our lakes, the preservation of the Yukon Center School and Sturbridge Town Hall, and finally, the realization of the Burgess School project, moving forward and receiving the necessary funding from the state. I'm proud of the accomplishments of the board. Moving forward, our success hinges on further economic prosperity. We need to support the recent adopted 43D, a valuable tool that targets economic development. We need to maintain our support of our local businesses and promote new business opportunities. We need to implement a universal tax rate to continue to capitalize on our identity to attract more tourists, encourage residents to shop locally, and support our local economy, build more fields and recreation facilities. Out of all the candidates, I am best suited to achieve these goals. I have developed a working relationship with Lieutenant Governor Murray's office, Congressman Neal's office, Senator Brewer's, Representative Smola's, and Representative Alicia. I, along with the Board of Selectmen, are working to obtain federal stimulus money for Sturbridge projects, which are shovel-ready. Finally, my plan for the town of Sturbridge is my lifelong commitment to the town. Let's continue to move forward together as we work to achieve our goals. Thank you.
Well said. My name is Tom Cream. First, I'd like to extend my gratitude to my wife because she has had to endure a great deal, particularly over the last few years and the last few weeks, as I have been completely committed to going out and speaking to residents door to door. I'd also like to thank those individuals who took part in my nomination campaign by signing my papers, who in fact provided me the privilege of being here this evening. As well, I wish to offer my heartfelt thanks to the hundreds of residents I've had the opportunity to speak with over the last few weeks during my door-to-door campaign. I've had the privilege of knocking on 1,064 doors over the last 2 weeks. And the courtesy, the hospitality, the frank discussion and dialogue that I've had has given me a clear perspective of what the people in this town really want to see. Tonight, all of us here, including the candidates, will have an opportunity to move a step closer towards determining who our selectmen are going to be on April 13th. For some, part of that determination is going to be based upon ideologies. For some, perhaps it will be based upon past or present relationships, and still yet others, perhaps upon recommendations of friends. Regardless of what's said here tonight, it is vitally important for each of us as residents to ensure that comments or statements made can are carefully scrutinized so that we can ensure that they withstand the test of verification. Quite simply, this town, much like our nation, will be tested over the next 3 years. Unemployment currently stands at 8.1%, and there are predictions of 9-10% by year's end. Foreclosures have increased 225% since 2006. In 2008, 160,000 retail stores closed. It is predicted that in 2009, another 200,000 retail stores will close. Consumer spending, a benchmark, the economy is witnessing its weakest and its lowest increase in over 47 years. This year, we face a $200,000 shortfall in our landfill cap fund. We also face a $170,000 shortage in our road management fund, and that happens to be our single most utilized infrastructure in this town. Our taxes are increasing, home values are plummeting, and services are being reduced or not keeping pace with the level of taxes. Decisions made over the next 3 years will profoundly impact our community for the next 20 years. I am running because I firmly believe we need leaders who can demonstrate foresight and have the ability to proact as opposed to react to conditions on the ground. It is critical that our decisions over the next 3 years be based upon pragmatism and not based upon ideologies. They need to be based upon principles as opposed to personalities. Thank you.
My name is Priscilla Jimenez. I've been a resident of Sturbridge for approximately 8 years. My background includes a doctorate in education leadership, extensive experience in both education and in business, and I'm currently a high school administrator in Springfield. My career in administration, I have been hired in 2 different sites to be a facilitator of change. One in a small school in Lowell that brought it to international recognition, and now I'm working on a model program in Springfield for allied health at the high school level. I know what change is and what's difficulties and its barriers. And if you approach people in the proper way, change is not frightening. But when change is forced on anyone, it is frightening because the unknown is always fearful. It is my belief that Sturbridge can achieve the desired growth that many people want, but through balance. We have a town of historic significance, and we need to preserve that. And that preservation doesn't prohibit any growth. That's why I believe you can achieve growth, but with balance. As I said last year when I ran for this position last year, I said that I believed it then and I believe it today, that the town of Sturbridge needs a full-time economic development coordinator. This person's function is to attract businesses to community. We have a lot of empty storefronts. I want to see those storefronts filled. I don't want to see strip malls on every corner of town that are going to end up being empty 3 or 4 years down the road. That's what I mean by balance. That's what I mean by structure. We have a lot of empty spaces. Can we put them to use? An economic development coordinator's position, this is their specialty. This is their expertise. Let the experts do the job. Let someone come and help us and guide us. And many people say, well, you know what, this isn't the time because money is tight. This is the time. This is the time that you do this. You don't not go to a doctor because money is tight. You go because you're not feeling well. In the ailing economy, this is when you need to give it a shot in the arm. And I do believe that this person, whoever that person would be along the way, is one who can help us achieve this goal, help us expand our economic structure so that we can expand our tax base. We are fortunate in Sturbridge that we're in a more financially secure spot than many communities are within Massachusetts. And that is because the community has been conservative in its measures throughout these years. And this conservative view has brought us to this financial security, if you will, at this point in time. Are we in great shape? Perhaps not, but we're not in the shape that many communities are, where firemen are laid off, police are laid off, teachers are laid off. We fortunately are not seeing that. And so we're a little bit better off than someone else. And again, it is because of the conservative measures. I want to thank the hosts for tonight. I want to thank the moderator, the citizens who came out tonight to hear the debate, and folks at home.
Well, good evening, and welcome to tonight's debate between the 4 candidates for selectmen of Sturbridge. My name is Keith Turley. I'm Executive Vice President of Turley Publications, publisher of the Town Common newspaper, sponsor of tonight's debate, and I'd like to thank most importantly an 18-year resident of Sturbridge. So I take great personal interest in proceedings tonight. Before we get started, I'd like to thank the people that have made tonight possible. First, thank you to the Town of Sturbridge and Town Administrator Jim Malloy for allowing the use of the space and arranging for the debate to be televised on public access television. I'd also like to thank the candidates for their participation and Mike Miller for moderating tonight's debate. Finally, I'd like to thank the staff of the Tantascwa Town Common, Tim Kane, our executive editor, Matt Burnett, our editor. They put in a lot of hard work and many hours to make this possible. Once again this year, Sturbridge is faced with many daunting issues. Construction of new elementary school is still on the docket.